Stop me if you've heard this before, C-Katt. Here's a report from Shams Charania of ESPN. The Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid are consulting doctors and considering alternative options such as surgery for his injured left knee, sources told ESPN on Sunday. Both sides have hoped for progress in Embiid's condition, but his determination to play and current treatments, including the regular injections, sources said, have not led to any improvement. We saw Joel hobbling through his Summer Olympics in Paris, France with Team USA, but finding a way to stick around on that roster long enough to be able to get a gold medal. Congratulations to him and Team USA. Love so far what I've seen out of the documentary on Netflix. Still need to make some time to finish it. We saw him then also limp his way into this NBA season only a couple of weeks or so after signing a 3-year, $192 million fully guaranteed extension with the Sixers. We saw him limp into an NBA season where you can tell he was not fully in shape and he was not right. His body was not all the way right. Last year, he played 39 games. This year, it seems like he's on the brink of being shut down for the rest of the season as the Sixers look to try and move forward, likely try and keep their first-round draft pick from going to the Thunder. I'll get into the minutia and the details of all of that because that gets a little bit more sticky, a little more specific. But the overarching theme to this is, C-Katt, when the Sixers drafted that big fella out of Kansas University, 7 foot, Cameroon native, all of the personality in the world, just was really getting his English right. But you can tell by the way he ran the floor and his footwork and his rim protection that this guy could be a star in the NBA today. It wasn't like the Sixers got him with the number 1 pick in the 2014 draft. Well, he fell to them at number 3. And the reason being, we knew that man, as talented as he can be, as high as his ceiling is, his floor is his unavailability, his durability issues. He had injury concerns coming into the NBA draft, and that was the only reason why he was not the surefire number 1 overall pick, which that ended up being Andrew Wiggins to the Cavaliers before LeBron made them trade him out the window. Okay, so we knew the risk involved when you drafted Embiid. He sits out the first couple of seasons due to injury, and some of that is the Sixers at that time. Remember, they were tanking. What's my guy's name? I forget his name. The king of the tank with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now I'm just thinking Daryl Morey. What was his name? You remember?
I'm getting the information right now.
Pull it up. The general manager for the Sixers, known for Hinkie, Sam Hinkie. Sam Hinkie, general manager of the Sixers, who began the process by literally his whole thing with the NBA draft was it's an inexact science. The only way to be good in the NBA is to be able to land a talent like a Joel Embiid, like a number 1 overall pick or a top 5 pick. So he said instead of us sticking around in the middle class of the NBA, think Atlanta Hawks, think Charlotte Hornets from time to time. He said, how about we just be really bad for 3 or 4 years, stockpile those top 5 picks, and then execute them, hoping that we get a couple generational talents through the door. That's how they end up getting Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and Nerlens Noel and the other Jahlil Okafor, right? But again, like he said, it's an inexact science. Embiid hits, kind of. We'll get into that. But Nerlens Noel, where is he now? Ben Simmons, he's literally a contract. I don't think he plays again in the NBA once this contract expires because of his lack of ability to either want to shoot or even want to play basketball at sometimes. And Jahlil Okafor, he flopped like a couple of years in. That was a very swift experiment. I believe also involved in that was Michael Carter-Williams at one point, a high first-round pick by the Sixers that didn't work out so well. And I might be missing out on another name, but they did exactly what Hinkie wanted to do, and it resulted in the generational talent that was Joel Embiid. But C-Katt, that came with an asterisk. That came with a large asterisk, and the asterisk is exactly what we're dealing with today and what we've dealt with in every single season that has ended in disappointment for the Sixers. Joel Embiid, as great as he can be, he is inextricably tied to his inability to show up on the basketball court because of the lingering issues with his body, because of his lack of durability. There was a stat that came out, C-Katt, like about the amount of games missed Embiid has had and the amount of money he has been paid for specifically those games missed. This year, he finally crossed over the threshold, right, of games missed versus games played per the $1 million he's being paid for each, right? Because when you have a fully guaranteed contract and you sit these games out, you still get paid.
That's what that word guarantee means.
Yeah.
You're getting that money.
You're getting that money. And this year, because of the games missed and because of the size of his contract extension with the Sixers, he has officially now been paid more money for sitting out of NBA games than he has been paid for the money that he's been playing. That is an incredible statistic to try and consume. Not if you're just a Sixers fan or in the Sixers front office, but just as a fan of the NBA in general. Like, what the hell are we doing? Those are a lot of sick days.
Yeah, a lot of sick days. And, if this was the Players Association versus the owners, this would be the court case.
Yes.
It would be the people versus Joel Embiid and the people being the owners and trying to figure out some way for this not to happen again to anybody, because this is not good.
It's not.
What is Joel Embiid worth to the Sixers injured? It is quite literally only the jersey sales and maybe season ticket holders that are hoping for the best that they'll see Joel Embiid more often than not, and they don't. They actually do not.
Couple funny tweets.
That's true.
Couple funny tweets.
He brought the DX chop back. That was fun for a postseason.
Oh, my gosh. The Joel Embiid experience, he is an enigma, man. His story, his NBA career is going to be one that it deserves a couple 30 for 30s. It deserves a few Netflix documentaries. And it also is going to be one that I believe that general managers across the NBA for years to come, for decades to come, when there is another top 5 pick, specifically a big man who has these kind of durability issues, but also has that level of talent, he's going to be one of the case studies that they're going to go over of, okay, was it worth it for the Sixers? You think about Embiid, you think about a Ralph Sampson way back in the day, you think about, Bill Walton was a little different because that came about after the draft, but more specifically, you think about a guy like Greg Oden. Because when I look at Joel Embiid and what we knew about him coming into the draft, and also what his career has actually come to be now that we're about, 10, 11 years into it, it reminds me of the promise that came along with Greg Oden. The difference is modern medicine has either increased in a certain way that has allowed Embiid to make a very injury-riddled career turn into millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Like a Frankensteining way of getting him out on the court.
Yeah, because imagine if Greg Oden was able to play less regular season games and sit out back-to-backs and also be able to take care of his body in the way that Embiid is doing today. He might have had the same exact career we're watching Embiid having, where it's like peaks and valleys, but the peaks are so high with Joel Embiid. I think that gets discredited to an extent with NBA fans because of the big flops at the end of the year. Like, C-Katt, if I were to tell you, because it's hard. His Q rating is so weird right now with Joel Embiid, so this is going to feel almost sacrilegious to say, but I do believe Joel Embiid, at the peak of his powers, when he's in shape and he's healthy, he is the most dominant NBA player of the past decade.
Yeah, you just watch his highlight tape.
You can't stop him.
Yeah, exactly. Just what he's able to do in and around the paint, because he also has extended outside the paint.
Yes.
He also can hit jumpers.
He was on pace. I believe it was 2 years ago, and it was in his NBA his MVP year from the 2022 season. He actually had an efficiency rate that was higher than a year that Wilt Chamberlain had when he dropped 50 points a game. Like the scoring efficiency that he was actually hitting at that point in the season. It teetered off because of injuries, which is the story of Embiid, but he was averaging 36, 37 a game. He's also not a, detriment on the other side of the court. He's also one of the top 5 best defenders since he's entered the league.
Which makes this so frustrating if you are a 76ers fan. Because when you are an angry fan, you like to have someone to be angry at, but the same reason why you are relevant is the same reason why you are not relevant to actually do anything in the playoffs.
Yes.
The reason why the Sixers are a topic of conversation is because of Joel Embiid when he's at his best. The reason why you can never take them seriously is because Joel Embiid's lack of staying healthy.
Joel Embiid is